But the power in the no is finding your way back to a yes that works for you. Not a yes that works for the person who's asking, but a yes that works for you.
Microphone check. Does my mic sound nice? Yes, it does. Welcome to this week's episode of It's About Damn Time. We focus on the real journey to being 1% better every damn day. It's About Damn Time, Jared Dam in the building. Y'all, this week we are talking about people pleasing, and all right, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I have a problem saying no. I've always had a problem saying no. As far back as I can remember, I've had a problem saying no. And I kind of want to talk about it because I like you say here, what we do here on It's About Damn Time, get 1% better every day. I knew I needed some help. So I decided to get a tag team partner for this. Let's sit there and talk about it. I am with the very lovely, the very talented, a creative intellect, an entrepreneur, an author, and a podcaster. SaKarra, what's going on? First of all, I want to say, hey, how you doing? But I want to also tell the people the story on what took so long for you to get here, because you were supposed to be here like a long time ago. But
okay, wait, I don't even know the story. I want to hear it.
So I don't know what happened, but I stumbled upon your podcast like 2 years ago. It hadn't been that long. It couldn't have been that long. Maybe last year.
I've been yapping for a while.
I don't know years, but it was over a year. We'll say this: it was over a year, and I was like, okay, I need to have you on. You know what I'm saying? Because I love your podcast because it's especially the solo episodes. It's natural. You're talking. You're just you're in the moment, and it gives that same energy on what I try to bring here. So I automatically loved it. And then so you were like, yeah, I'll be on. And then you got busy with stuff, and you had a lot of stuff going on, and then I got busy with stuff, and I had to fight depression and demons and everything. And then finally I pulled up and all. You was like,
talk about it.
Hey, I'm ready whenever you're ready. I'm like,
listen.
The important thing is we both here. That's what I'm saying.
You're right. And then you know what? It's the right damn time.
And it's the right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, you be spitting. I like that. So how have you been doing? Let's talk about how things going in your world. I'm glad that you had the opportunity to sit there and talk to me. To take a breath, because you do so much.
You know, it's so funny because people say like, "Oh, SaKarra, you always seem so busy," and I'm like, I literally never have anything going on in my mind. But I've learned that I feel a lot more relaxed when I'm occupied. So what might seem like a lot going on to me, it helps to calm me down. That's all. But
Get that.
I do have a lot going on. For one, I just had a baby a few weeks ago. And that has
really, congratulations.
Thank you. And it's just really taken over my entire life. So
as babies do.
Yes, she is beautiful and precious, and I love her, and she's a lot of work. So
Well, I appreciate you helping me with this topic because like I said, I do struggle with saying the word no, and I've had people pleaser episodes before, but I wanted to kind of get into the nitty gritty of the power of the word no and why I can't tap into that power. But I want to kind of ask you first. Have you ever had problems with saying no and dealing in people pleasing?
Big time. I think, as I mentioned, I like to stay busy. In doing so, it leads me to take on tasks that are not mine, that I do not own. And then I'll assume ownership over somebody else's whatever they got going on. Oh, SaKarra, I'm putting this together. Oh, SaKarra, I'm putting this together. Okay, I'll help. Before the person can even ask, I've already offered. So, and then the favors will grow and they'll grow. And I find myself saying yes and saying yes. And also just not wanting to let anybody down. I talk about this on my podcast a lot about the structure, my family structure. And how things were with my mother. My mother depended on me a lot, but my grandmother depended on her a lot. So it's like one appointed child who you found was responsible, and you kind of put
Yeah.
all responsibility on them. So if that's been happening to you since you were very young, you become accustomed to seeking praise from doing things for other people. So, and that's where I kind of got that people pleasing gene embedded in me, where I learned when I was very little, if I did everything that was asked of me and I did it well, then people would like me, or then I would have a seat at the table, or I would be welcomed. And I wasn't taught, oh, you can actually tell me you don't want to do it. I mean, I don't want to ramble because I be yapping.
No, no,
But
no, 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 no. You hit you. I'm making a face because I'm like, damn, you.
okay.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, when I was
That's me.
about 12 or 13, my mom got remarried, and my stepfather, her new husband, didn't have any children. So even though my mother was in her 40s, she had two more children. So at the time I was 13, when my little brother was born, my mother, I used to call myself a servant because my mother treated me like I was her husband at 13. It got to the point I said, Ma, I have to leave. I was 13. I said, look, it's the summertime. I'm going to somebody's house because I didn't know how to tell my
Yeah.
mother no. And she didn't see, like, okay, obviously I was her child. My mother's, always has treated me like a child, but also she knew that I could handle a lot. And I hadn't learned to tell her no. And so sometimes a lot of our ability or inability to learn to find our voice and telling people what we won't do starts in adolescence, not being able to just tell our family and our parents, no, I'm not doing that.
I like what you're saying there because it totally makes sense on how it happened in my life. Because um, I was I was the only child, but my mom, she struggled. She had her own demons and she struggled with it. She struggled with depression. She struggled with alcoholism. She struggled with drugs. So when things happen during that time frame, she leaned on me, and I was just that
Mm,
responsible person. And so and you right, you taking that responsibility and then becoming that person that's dependable, and you almost like you it's like that becomes your identity. Your value is
absolutely.
is is pleasing and helping people, and growing up, high school didn't help because I'm in high school. I'm quiet, but when you was out all night doing whatever, but you didn't study for this test. But Jared let me copy off his paper. Jared would help me with the research paper, or if we want a pregame at Jared's house before we actually go out and have fun and leave Jared at home, Jared would make cookies.
Hmm.
And then it got to be to a point where well now he's the most dependable in the high school class, and looking at it now, I'm like, because I didn't say no. That's what made me quote unquote dependable, But
Exactly.
I thought it was a badge. I thought it was like, oh, well, look at me,
A
and
badge
so
of honor.
that made me go out
Exactly.
there, right? And that made me want to go and do more and be more, and be like, okay, well, I can do this. I want to ask this though, like since we don't learn it at that age, especially if our family is leaning on us and we're that responsible person, and I know kids like that now. It's kind of like that. I have exes and other people that was that middle child, that responsible one. How do you exactly establish boundaries even then? How you say no? Because I don't know about you. I couldn't say no to my mama. Like even I couldn't even fathom saying no to my mama, or at the very, and even not just saying no, just being like, well, mom, I was going to work on this first, or I got to do my homework first. Is that okay? Or like saying something like
Yeah.
to establish some kind of boundary. I couldn't see it. Like my mama said something, so I had to do it. How did you? Can you even fathom even doing that back then when you were little?
Absolutely not. Absolutely. I was not rebellious. I think all of my parents' children are outspoken. That's just how we were raised, but we were not rude and I was not rebellious. My older siblings were rebellious. So there are five of us in total, but I like to say I'm the youngest of three and the oldest of three because of the gap, because between my mother being remarried. So I'm the only child that lived in the house with each of my siblings at one point or another because of where I'm
Right.
positioned in the middle. So, as the youngest, my two older siblings were rebellious. And I would see the toll that them rebelling against my mother would take on her. Like, oh, your brother's in trouble, or oh, your sister's talking back. So I just didn't want to stress her out because I'm like, okay, they're already stressing her out. How can I be as disciplined or as, as possible? And I think that's how I
Mm-hmm.
got bestowed, like, oh, this is the child I can put the weight on. I couldn't, it would
Yeah.
process telling my mother, actually, no, I'm not doing it. Felt like a betrayal. It felt like I was hurting her. And then in the times when me and my mother would, like, as I got, you get into your teenage years, you go at it with your parents.
Right.
And me and my father, we never so much had this dynamic. It's primarily with my mom, where this not being able to say no, but that came from her inability to say no. Like I said, she wore that same heavy crown and with her siblings, but that's because she was the oldest girl. And she just like passed it on to me, like, well, my mom did it to me, I'm doing it to you. And
Yeah.
so at the time, no. And then when I became a teenager, when you want to rebel a little bit, you want to say, no, mom, I'm not doing it. She would just stop talking to me completely.
Because she felt like you were disrespecting her and you were letting her
Yeah, and
down.
that's just she would just stop talking to me completely, and I would feel so uncomfortable. Like it felt, it felt like abuse, but obviously she was not abusing me. I think it was more so like a shock, like not the one I trained to be my sidekick
Right,
is
right.
becoming her own person. And but I think that's an important time when you start to tell people no, and you start to establish boundaries, and you start to figure out who you are, because you're now telling people who you are, who you want to be, what you want to do. And I think when people hear that first no, they think everything that comes after that is going to be no, 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 I don't have time for you. But the power in the no is finding your way back to a yes that works for you. Not a yes that works for the person who's asking, but a yes that works for you. And that's the beauty in boundaries. It's not about keeping people out, like, it's about finding a pathway to allow people to come back in that you're comfortable with. I think people
Yeah.
hear boundary and it's like, wow, this is my boundary. But the boundary is not to keep somebody out. The boundary is actually to
Mm,
allow them in. Yeah, it's to allow them in the way that you don't feel threatened, allow them in the way that you're not exhausted, allow them in the way that you are still at peace, even with doing for them, with offering to them.
see, you saying a lot of things right now, and one
I went to
that
therapy.
look, you cooking. You look. You started this
I paid out
episode
of
off cooking.
pocket.
Like you was like, oh, the oven was already preheated. Jim. I'm ready to cook, and that's exactly what you're doing
I was like,
because
I'm gonna save up these coins and I'm gonna go to the lady, because
hey, yeah, that
when you
makes
know
that
you want
makes
to do
so much
better, you
sense.
gotta find a way to be better.
So that boundaries thing is so important because look, that's a dirty word for me. Like for real. Like that's
Yeah.
boundaries is
Even with the way I just told you how it's a good
no,
word.
no, the way you just told me makes it a little bit better. But
Okay.
beforehand, when I was in therapy, my therapist would always be like, Jerry, we're gonna have to establish the B word. Ooh, don't say the B word, it's nasty. Ooh, no,
Not the
no,
B
not the B
word.
word. And it was boundaries because I just I lacked them. I
Mm,
lacked them and it was like li- how you said that like it's not about blocking people because I think people do have make boundaries like it's like a moat
right.
you got a castle and it's like a moat and you got
Yes.
armed soldiers
Yes.
there and these are the boundaries but it's more like hey you can come in I'm just giving you the security code to come in now you just can't just walk all
Exactly.
the way
Like
in
you can't just
but
walk
if you
all
hit
up in
that
here.
right, but at night at 5 o'clock after 5 o'clock when the pad come out, you can hit this code, and then I'll give you permission to come in, and that's such a great way of
Exactly.
looking at that
Like I want you here.
because
Like I
right,
want you here, but I want you here in a way that we can both be comfortable.
yeah, because I automatically look at boundaries being bad, and if I look at it like a security code, hey, I'm giving this to you because most people they don't even have that security code at all. They can't get in at all. How you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even
Exactly.
get
You
in.
can't
so
even get in. You know what I'm saying?
and that makes sense. But in the other part that really it really struck me when you said that. You said that you're a people pleaser, and it's probably because your mom was a people pleaser because she went out and out of her way for her mom, and vice versa. And I have always told people that I'm a people pleaser. My mom was a people pleaser. My grandma was a people pleaser, and probably Big Mama was a people pleaser. And
Mm-hmm.
no one really looks at people pleasing being like a generational curse. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's something that we're something that we're carrying. And if I really think about it, my daughter, she got it. Like she got it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's
Don't do
17
that to
now.
that baby.
And I'll be
Don't
like,
do
and I'll
that
be
to
like,
her.
I'm like, baby, no, baby, you don't have to do it. And like, I don't put the expectation on her that hey, you need to do this for me. Like, I don't necessarily do it. I'll probably, if anything, I'm probably over course correcting because I know the pressure
Right.
that leads
But if
to.
she has witnessed you, one thing I know about my kids, about children, I said I literally just had the second one like last week when my kids, like it's a whole bunch of them running
Your
around here.
kids, it's still
Um,
your kids.
right. It don't matter what I say. I can say every day, clean your room, clean your room, clean your room, clean. That room not gonna get clean until I clean my room.
Mm,
His room not gonna get clean until
mm,
I clean my room. So
mm.
you can say, you don't have to do that for people. You don't have to do that for people. If she sees you bending over backwards for other people, if she sees you becoming anxious before you tell somebody no, if she sees you finding difficulty lacking boundaries, our kids will mimic us. There's some things my son does, and I'm like, oh my God, that's not me. Like that is me 100%. I never told him to do that he just will naturally do because I'm showing him, his father is showing him this is how we behave in the world. This lineage right here, this is how we act outside. This is how we act inside. So just the best way, and I really do feel like even when in old age, because as I see my mother heal, it inspires me and encourages me to heal. Even though she's not saying it to me, like as I see her freeing herself from, whatever she had going on before, it make same thing with my father. I speak about this on my podcast, but my dad had a substance abuse issue for a good portion of my life. But then he was clean for 20 years after that. And he passed recently. Then he was clean for 20 years. Seeing him heal himself was like, oh, okay, we can make mistakes and then we can fix it. So
Yeah,
just course correcting yourself is gonna just automatically help her. I don't.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right. That room thing, that's what really stuck with me because that's some real shit. Like that room ain't gonna get clean till my room get clean. You can
Right?
sit there and say as I say, do as I say, not as I do. But
Hmm. But they
example,
gonna do as
people
you
people
do.
follow example. People follow example. And it's the same. I think it's the same
Absolutely.
thing with us
Especially
in
our
in
children.
our podcast. We're teaching people about improvement and empowerment and personal growth and everything. And sometimes, if I'm being honest, sometimes I feel fraudulent, being on this platform because I know the shit that I need to do. You know what I mean?
And
And
that's how you know
I'm
you're
over
not
here.
fraudulent. That's how you know you're not
I'm not
fraudulent.
fraudulent
The
because
fact
I
that
think I'm
you have
fraudulent.
that feeling, because look, there are some frauds out here
Yeah,
who will
yeah,
sell
yeah,
you up
yeah,
a river for just fraud.
yeah.
Who before they start, oh, this podcast is about clean eating, clean living, and being the best you can be. Snort a line of coke before the podcast starts. Like there's some frauds out here. Okay, just the fact that you feel a responsibility to your listeners is what's gonna keep you honest.
But I was look. I was kind of doing that. Well, I wasn't storing a line of coke. But here's what I was doing
I was gonna say,
because
wait a minute,
yeah, I wasn't storing a line of coke. But I
slow
remember this one
down.
episode. I remember this one episode. I was so nervous. So I was talking. I'm and shout out to Jet Setting Jasmine and King Noir. They're this couple that's in the adult entertainment industry, and not only do they do videos, but they produce the content. They have their own content and everything, and they do all these other things. Plus the King Noir, he's in music and rapping and everything. Jetson and Jasmine, she's actually has a degree in social work, and she be counseling people. Like, they got multiple things on what they doing. So I was like
Mm-hmm.
nervous because I'm like, yeah, these are like people I've known for a while,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I was like so nervous. I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure that I'm good because this is a very important episode. I'm over here. I'm over here doing push-ups and
You know
running in
what?
place, and cause I, how you had a nervous energy and everything,
Yeah,
and I'm just trying to
yes.
burn it all off, and then I took like 4 shots of tequila.
Oh, okay. You got to get
so
ready. You got to get juiced.
so maybe I should have did two, but I did like 4 shots of tequila. So by the time we doing the intro, I'm sitting there like I'm literally hitting the playback
Learn your words.
slurring my words, like,
Mhm.
oh god, and then telling them like I was so nervous. I just took some tequila. They like, so. Luckily, they still my friends after that, and I need to get them back on. But
I bet you it was a
I
fun episode, though, wasn't it?
it was because it was about having a positive parent and
Oh,
talking,
okay, okay.
yeah, and how to be sex positive and be parent and being a parent. So it was a fun episode, but I was just like, I was so nervous.
Took a
So
long nap afterwards.
oh, I did. It was a good time. It was a good time. But yeah, that's the thing. Feeling fraudulent, where you feel like you're not being genuine because you got this, what to do, but you're trying to tell people, hey, and I think that's why I put this podcast more as a self discovery type of thing because
Yeah.
I ain't a guru. I know what to do, but I'm also human like you. I'm struggling to do it too and be
And let me
consistent
tell
with it.
you, those gurus are human too.
Right.
And if
Right.
not what they had gone through, the wisdom that they gained from going through things, they wouldn't even be able to offer any advice anyway. So we all have to go through what we go through.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
it's
true.
gonna tell us what to teach. It's gonna better inform us. Because I figure like, if I wasn't a people pleaser, I wouldn't have set boundaries. If I didn't set boundaries, I wouldn't be able to talk about how healthy it is to set boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to be a people pleaser first.
Exactly. You had to go through that. Yeah.
Right.
You had to go through that to learn a lesson to teach other people. Exactly. Exactly. Baptism by fire. That's all that is. That's all that
That's
is.
all that is. But I wanted to
So,
say, as far as
mhm.
like with the no, because I really do believe the goal is to find a way to get back to a yes. I'm trying to think even about my own personal journey. I feel like there are levels, there are phases to like going from a people pleaser to like a self pleaser. That sounds like very masturbation-y, but you get what I'm saying.
It does. But I get it. It's nothing wrong with pleasing yourself, by yourself. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with it.
But I feel like at first it's like I don't want to say no because whether it's like I don't want to lose friends, I don't want to hurt you, I don't want to be on your bad side. Like we have a long list of
Mm-hmm.
things we've concocted in our mind, or maybe we had negative experiences saying no in the past. So you're trying to avoid those negative experiences so you don't say no. Now you're saying yes, you're people pleasing, you're overcompensating. I feel like the next phase is the hyper no. And I went through that real bad. I'm cutting people off left and right. What?
Yeah.
What? Bye. What? You said what? And I feel like so many people today are there, stuck there, stuck. They don't know that the goal is to get back to the yes. Because yes, there's a lot of power in the word no, but yes is a much more powerful word because it means that you've expanded your capacity to do, to feel, to
Yeah.
experience. When you have a small capacity, you're going to say no to a lot of things. One hurt is going to ruin you. One bad experience is going to destroy you because you have a small capacity. But once you get back to the yes, your capacity has expanded. Now you can tolerate people that you hated in the past. That's growth. When you sit next to somebody
Yeah.
that, you know, but so many of us are stuck in phase two, where it's like, no, I'm not doing that. What you got me effed
Yeah.
up. We're stuck there where and then she didn't come to my birthday party, so I cut her off. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, the most
ooh,
minor, yeah, and that you're absolutely right. I think we're at a point where some of us are over course correcting where it's like, okay, we've been this giver, we've been given. So now, oh, it's and then social media don't help. Oh, you gotta say no. You got the power of saying no. So then you're like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a no. And now you become a horrible person. You're like a completely different. You went from Jedi to Sith. You
Exactly.
went completely different. Not the same
You're a
person
terrible
anymore.
person. You're surrounded
Yeah.
by a bunch of yes men who tell you everything you do is fine because the last person that told you you wasn't ish, you cut off. So now
Mm-hmm.
nobody's actually holding you accountable to nothing
Right.
because you
Right.
can't hear the truth. So
Right. You're literally living in negativity. Like you're literally
yes,
bathing in negativity the entire time. So
yes.
stuff like, yeah, like the example you said. Oh, did they wish me happy birthday? If they didn't wish me happy birthday, I ain't wishing them happy birthday. What who the fuck cares?
Live
Like
your life. Why are
yeah,
you keeping
yeah.
score? Like you
Look,
going home and like two weeks ago he didn't text me back in 20 minutes, so now I gotta just live your life naturally. Let
now
it
as a
flow.
now as a person, now let me be real. As a person that generally keeps score, because I don't
Don't do it.
I don't keep score like that though. Like I think my thing is almost like in reverse. Like it's almost like, okay, it's almost like Kynex. Like I keep score with Kynex. Oh, somebody did something nice for me. I got to make sure to sit
So you
there
feel like you
and
owe them.
I feel like I owe them.
That's
So,
you got to get out of phase one,
I got
man. You got to get
yeah.
into phase two. The hyper
Well,
no.
I my problem is I'm stuck between phase one and phase two. So
Mhm.
so like
I
so
just
like
made these phases up, by the way. They don't really exist.
no, these phases exist now. I don't know what you're talking about. They exist now. So I go between phase one and phase two. So like you said, phase one, all right, I'm saying yes to everybody. Then I get so tired and drained, and then my own problems hit. So
Hmm.
then not only do I say no. Now I don't even say no. Let me stop lying. I don't say no. I just isolate and stop talking to everybody. So now I'm just in this
Hmm.
bubble, and that
Doesn't
bubble is my
everybody?
no, and that's my
Doesn't
no. You know what I'm
everybody?
saying?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so now that I'm in that bubble and I'm not saying no, then when I'm starting to feel a little bit better, I kind of like a turtle peek my head out the shell and like, hey, I might do a post here and there. And then like everyone's like, yay, Jerry's back.
Right.
and so now it's the flood again. And right
And the
now,
cycle repeats.
exactly. So right now I'm just inching out of two, and I feel like I'm heading back to one. And I really just want to
No,
go to
not back
three.
to one.
I don't want to start right back at one.
Because you wanna find a comfortable yes. And I think what helps for me, I need to know why I'm saying no. A lot of things I've said no to in the past were very emotionally driven, and they it wasn't rooted in what's happening currently, is rooted in something that happened before. Like, you know what I mean? One thing I used to be big on no about was people coming over my house. Like I like to host my family, but you can come when you invited. But don't just show up
Right.
here. But then I
Right.
realized I went on this whole kick maybe last year, 2 years ago, where I was like, I need to expand and grow my community. Like, I want to get to know strangers. I want to know more people. I want to be able to know my neighbors' names and where they work. And if I fell down in my apartment, I know somebody's going to come by and check on me. But we create such a wall, a barrier around us currently because of social media and technology and blah, blah. You're not interacting with people in real life. So I wanted more of a real life community. In doing so, I had to allow people to come over my house, sometimes
Mm.
unannounced. And
Ooh.
it was like really uncomfortable for me. Like that
Yeah.
the doorbell would give me so much anxiety. So much anxiety. Or somebody text and say,
I
"Hey, I'm
feel
in your
that.
neighborhood. I want to come by." And without me even realizing, I would keep my kitchen looking crazy. And I realized, oh, okay, you're doing that just so that you can say, oh, I got to clean the kitchen. So come another day. Because for no other reason. But
Right.
when the house is completely clean. Somebody says, I'm in your neighborhood. Can I come over? Why are you saying no? Do you not like this person? Do you not want them here? Do you not want to see them? Like, why are you saying no? And you go, you sit deep with yourself and you realize it has nothing to do with that person. It has nothing to do with what's going on now. Like my friend is coming over tomorrow. She hit me up yesterday. She said, "You have plans on the 4th?" I'm like, "No, me and the baby just gonna stay inside. It's hot. I don't like taking her out in the heat like this." She's like, okay, her and her daughter are gonna come by. And instantly I was like, I'm gonna say no. But I do want her here and I do want to see her. But I have to think, why am I saying no? Is it because I'm tired or I don't want company? Or like why am I saying no? So I said yes. And then you know what she said? She's cooking food and she's bringing food for me and she's gonna help me with the baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the goal is
Yeah,
to get back to the yes, but in a way that it's more
that you're comfortable
informed.
with
It's
it. Yeah,
yes.
that's
Yeah.
a good point because the getting back to that yes requires self examination. It requires self reflection,
Yes.
and it requires you to get to the root of the no, the root of what makes you
Because you
uncomfortable.
say
Because
no,
even
you're
because
closing
even
the door in their face, but you're closing the door in your own face too. It's a
exactly,
no on both sides.
exactly. Yeah, you're right. And I'm because even while you're talking about that, I'm like, because I'm the same way. I'm like, you coming up? You want to come over? And I'm looking around at the apartment because you see this spot. This is a clean spot right here. Everything else is a little cluttered in the kitchen area and everything. Which my sister called me out on FaceTime a couple days ago. Shout out to my little sister.
Oh,
But
and I had to remove my own excuses. I don't
yeah,
know what to call it, like a self fulfilling prophecy or something. But if something is your
hmm
go to excuse, oh, my son, big time. Because when I had him, I was much younger, so I would use him as an excuse. I don't got a sitter. I don't got a sitter. Can't do it. Sorry. No, you have to I remove my son. No, you have to remove your own excuses so that you can say like, okay, why am I actually saying no? Because this isn't, I'm making an excuse instead of actually getting to the heart of it. I learned that there was a group of friends that I was going out with all the time and they would ask me to go certain places and I would say no, or last minute I just wouldn't show up. Being around them made me anxious, but I didn't have the language at the time to say something about this dynamic is giving me anxiety. So instead, I was just
right,
saying, no, I'm not doing it, or I wouldn't show up. So I seemed like the shitty friend. Come to find out,
yeah,
they were just shitty people that made me feel terrible. But I couldn't see it at the time. I just knew that
right.
when I got there, I was going to be people pleasing. I was going to be overextending. That wasn't their fault. It was not their fault that I was not establishing boundaries for myself.
And that's
Once
and
I
that's a
started,
good point
once
because
I started establishing boundaries, now we can go anywhere. Where y'all want to go? Because let me tell you,
yeah,
when
but I
when we
think
go
that's a
there,
good
I got boundaries now. What's good?
yeah. That's a good point though because when people sometimes when you in that first part of establishing boundaries and then somebody tests that boundary, you get mad at that person.
Yeah,
I'm very new with boundaries, and how dare they? First of all, did you the boundaries are for you, and you didn't announce that was a problem for you. Like, because you've been
yeah.
pleasing all this time, and now all of a sudden you had this conversation with yourself that you ain't doing this. So I'll give you an example. Like for me, I people call me on the phone, want to talk advice, they want the energy, they want, me to say something crazy, whatever, fine. But when I get to a point where I'm hungry, and I go
Hmm.
get some, let's say I go get some food. Like the other day I went to go get some nachos. Talking to my god sister, she's 11, calling me, like, hey. I say, look, I'll talk to you while I get gas. I'm gonna talk to you when I get to the restaurant to get pick up these nachos, and I'm talking to you on the
But
way
now I'm
home.
eating.
But when I get home and I'm ready to eat, I need to be watching something on television. Even if I don't watch it, even if I might even watch the whole thing. I might only watch like 10 minutes of whatever show. I
Right,
just need to
right.
be disconnected where I eat my
Hmm.
food, where I'm not performing, where I'm not listening to nobody,
Yes,
where I'm not giving advice, where my energy physically and emotionally can be recharged.
yes.
And I've had examples where I have made that comment to people who that are used to be talking to me every day, or we in the middle of something, and I'm like, all right, I'm sitting there trying to hold off on eating because I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry, and so I go make my plate and grab some food, and then they're like, um. They just still keep talking, and then
Then
I'm
they're
mad.
offended.
No, that's the problem because I'm mad. I didn't say anything, so now I'm eating my food like begrudgingly. I can't believe they didn't get off the phone with
Oh.
me
Mm-hmm.
because but I didn't sit there and say, "Hey, I got my food." So I know we were in the middle of something. Can we just put like a little bow or a pause on it, boop, right now, so I can sit there and eat my food? You know how I am. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That was so
Or to
hard for
say
me.
like,
It
I
took
got 5 more minutes. I
right
got
or
5 minutes
just
for you.
establish
I'm
that.
heating my food up right now.
Yeah, my,
Mm-hmm.
my, my friend Gary has told me that all the time. He's like, well, Jay, you gotta establish those boundaries. Why don't you sit there and say, hey, people who want to talk to you for 2 hours on
Exactly.
the phone, hey, I got 30 minutes for you. That's all I got for you. And it's so hard
And
for me
that's not you saying
to
no. You're still saying
yeah,
yes.
it's a path to yes. I'm talking to you, but this is what I got. This is security code. You only got 30 minutes here, and
Or
then
as they
after
say
that,
at work, I got a hard stop. I got a hard stop at 2. I got
they
a
say it
hard
all
stop
the time. Oh,
at 4.
yeah,
I got a hard stop.
I got a
You
hard
better
stop
tell
at
people you
two.
got a hard stop. All right. I got a hard stop when the microwave stop. Microwave
Right,
start beeping. I
right.
got a hard stop.
Beep, beep. That's my stop. That's my stop.
I was on a business call the other day. I said, "Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. That baby started crying. That's like an alarm clock. I'm hanging up." And
That's real talk
42,
though.
42 minutes into the call, she's yeah, yeah. He's like, "I know. I already know, SaKarra. Don't worry. All right, talk to you later." No, no harm, no foul, because he already knew it was
That's
coming.
yeah, yeah. I think
You can
I
do
think
it.
no, I can do it. I think the problem with me doing it is that you and this is what I want to ask you about. The problem with me doing something like that, and I have done it, and let's say the time sometimes I've done it before, where I have already established with somebody that we'll keep the eating thing for example. I've already established with somebody that when I get my food, I'm wrapping off the phone call with you. Now, every once in a while, I may sit there and be like, I'm not hungry. So I'm like, yo. So they're like, oh, well, you want me to get off? I'm like, nah, you can continue. You have a one time courtesy, like you can continue. Like
Mm-hmm.
every once in a while, but most times it's like, yeah, let me get off the phone. But sometimes you run into people that are um maybe they're in a emotional energy deficit, or they really need you, or they just don't want to kind of let you go, and so they tend to make you feel bad. You gotta go, like you gotta,
Mm.
you can't give me like 15 more minutes.
Like you're doing something wrong.
Like I'm doing something wrong because I'm this is and this all I will bend over backwards for people in a lot of different ways. That's like a half a boundary that I have,
Yeah,
and the fact that they're like
it's
you
a
can't.
half about you. That makes me think of two things, and I really hate cliches. But you know how they say put your mask on before you put on somebody else's in an airplane or whatever. And it's like the I guess the questions are, um, is there peace, happiness, whatever they're getting from you at the moment, more important than yours? Would be one question. And if you can't prioritize your own happiness at all times, your own peace at all times, your own ability to live your own life the way you want to at all times, nobody else will. Nobody is waking up in the morning saying, like, I just really want Jared to be happy today. What can I do to make it? Not a soul. That's not the first thing on, not even your mama's. That's not the first thing on nobody's mind. You gotta be for you first, and that's okay. The next question would be like, in the same way that they would say, like, what, you can't give me 10 more minutes? They can't allow you to have your 10 minutes back so that you can be happy. You've already given. I've given you 30 minutes. By giving you 10 more, it's gonna make me unhappy. So yes, it'll make you happy, but it's gonna make me unhappy. You want me to be
Yeah, and
unhappy?
then and then you got to deal with the emotional pouting session. And they're going,
Right.
oh, okay. I mean that's what you want. I'm sitting there like,
But you are
uh,
teaching. You are teaching people every day, every interaction you have with them, who you are and what you want. And the beauty in that is that we change. I'm not the person I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm not the person I was last month before I had this baby. But in
facts.
teaching people every time who I am now, You know what I mean? Like in establishing a new boundary, like that's something that I have a good example. At one point, so I come from everybody in my family smokes for the most part. My brother and sister are big potheads, right? That's never really been like my motion. It wasn't until like well after I graduated, after I had my son, that I started smoking also, right? Just weed. So so it's legal in New Jersey. So I'm like, I don't really see the problem. I was smoking the video of mine on Instagram. My brother was calling me, take it down. My sister was calling me, take it down. I'm like, what? Is this not the pot calling the kettle black? Not y'all.
Right.
Literally the pot calling the kettle black. The potheads calling the kettle black. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And like I said, I've never been the really rebellious one. And they were like, you're not gonna do it. And I was like, I'm not gonna do it. Now, they would have caught me last month. I might say, oh, my older brother said I had to take it down. I'm taking it down. My older sister, I'm a grown ass woman. But at the time they caught me, this was the person I was, and I had to establish a new boundary with them. I'm leaving the video up. You don't have to watch it. They hate my podcast. Good Lord. I'm leaving it up. You don't have to listen. You don't have to like it. It's
Why
up.
do they hate your podcast?
Well, because season 2, the sexy season, was literally all about sex. And it just, my family was just in ruins about it, okay?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that just, even though I've grown, I live alone, I take care of myself, you know what I'm saying? It's about the image of what somebody wants you to be. A large part of boundaries is not just who you're becoming for yourself, but you're becoming somebody completely different for everybody else too. And sometimes they're just
Yes.
not ready to see you become somebody else. There are people who look at me, they're still seeing a baby. There are some people who are looking at me, they're still seeing however I was in college. There are people who meet me, they're seeing me, they want me in the place where they like me best.
Yeah.
But I don't have to stay there just because they want me there.
I think what you said is a good point, and I don't think it's talked about enough. You know, I think when we look at people pleasing, we're looking at okay, saying yes to things like, or I don't, even though I don't have gas money and I'm sleepy, I'm gonna get up and take you to the airport, or I'm gonna go
Right.
help
The
you move, or I'm
action.
gonna do that. That
Mm-hmm.
actions, but people pleasing when you're in a way because people have you in a box and you basically shrinking yourself
You're shrinking
is
yourself. You're contorting into that box. You're trying to fit into their mold so hard, even though you've outgrown it.
you outgrown it. It's not you anymore. It's stifling your creativity. So when you said that with the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
because the one things that I wrestle with is about damn time is that, and I tell people who are close to me all the time, I I, I think I struggle sometimes feeling like I'm fully Jared in this
Mm.
because I'm fitting a box of what people, and these people who I'm conforming to, they may or not even be listening to the podcast, but just in case they do, like I'm trying to stay in this box and everything, and I if I'm sitting here hitting record, if I'm sitting there doing the edits, if I'm sitting there doing the clips, if I'm sitting there putting it out there, and it's my words, why can't I say what the fuck I want to say, how I want to say it?
Mm-hmm.
And why am I policing myself? So when you sit there and said that second season when it was all about sex and everything, I had for me, and that was one of the reasons it comes back full circle. That was one of the reasons why I was so nervous about talking to Jet Set and Jasmine and King the War, because I'm like, ooh, I'm talking about sex on my podcast now. I had
Mm-hmm.
another podcast that I was talking about sex freely, but it was that thing. It was parents after midnight, and I could tell stories, and I could be like, well, one
Mm-hmm.
time this happened to me, and it was like it was one because I was like, all right, I know that like my teenage daughter is not going to listen to that because I never told her, and people who listen to my podcast not going to be like, oh my god, Jared, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But moving it over to talk about being a sex positive parent and talking to adult film stars, I was like,
And you're a
which
grown man
well, I am a grown ass man. Like I am, like
trying to
that's
hesitating
crazy,
about talking about something human and natural.
right? That not only that I am comfortable talking about, that I'll talk about it. I've talked about times I've talked about times where my mom will talk to me about sex. Talk about the times where I arranged for my mom to get a vibrator. I've talked about sex
Ooh,
with my aunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm really talking about it, but I'm like, oh, it's about damn time. And it's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be self
right.
improvement
And
and then
mind you,
self.
you don't, it's not like a network owns you. This is your
No,
platform, and you're
right.
censoring yourself out of concern of what other people might think about what you're saying.
That ain't even probably fucking listening.
Exactly. Exactly. And when I tell you, I mean, I come from people pleasing extreme. There are some things I've gotten over that I'm just really so blessed and fortunate that I'll never have to worry about again in my life. People pleasing being one of them, because it was really bad for me. I give an example. I have an uncle who lives in North Carolina. He is I was about to call him a pastor, but he told me he's not a pastor anymore. Now he's an apostle. All right. That's the next one up. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Damn.
His son is now the pastor. His daughter's the deaconess. I don't know.
Okay.
They have a
Okay.
big church in North
Yeah.
Carolina, right? They're big church people, and and I have one friend who's very, very religious. Like, she's extremely religious. It would be to a point I could have 1,000 people watch a video. Before I put it out, I'm thinking about what those two people might think when they saw it. That is crazy. What
Yeah.
about the other 998 people who will enjoy it? What about if there's just one other person who would enjoy it? What about the fact that I enjoy
Enjoy
it?
it because it's your stuff, right? And you're literally living for other people's expectations that you had even confirmed that's in your head that, oh, they may think a certain way about me because of this.
So many people are sitting on greatness, are living outside of their purpose, are restricting themselves because before they think about what's best for them and what makes them happy, they're funneling through what other people might be thinking. Oh my God, we consume so many of our thoughts about what's going to make somebody else happy and what somebody else wants you to look like and how you're going to be, that you don't take enough time to say, oh, I did it just because I liked it, period.
Right.
I did it because I
Right.
wanted to. People say, oh, you're going to regret it, and I might.
Yeah.
And I might.
And I'm gonna talk about that on the podcast too.
Exactly. I did it because I felt like it. But guess what? Now I
Yeah.
regret it. Well, not regret it, but I hate that I did it. But now that's even more that I could, like, you know what I'm saying? But when
Yeah.
you live your life for you, it's easier to tell people no.
You're right.
It's easy to tell people and no in a way like, no, I'm not going to change me for you. That's the no, really. When you
Mm-hmm.
really know your no, it's like, no, I'm not going to contort myself to fit into that box you're trying to put me in. But yes, I'll help you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll find my way back to yes, but no, I'm not going to compromise myself in the meantime.
Yeah. It's based about two things that you said. That you stand by. Like, one, that I think I love the mantra, life is for living. And so
Yes.
you got to live your life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Say I tapped it in. I got you, girl. I got you. So life is about that, and then two
It's
is
not for
like,
stressing. It's not for none of that. It's for life is meant to be lived.
yeah,
Period.
yeah, and you're like and even if you make mistakes, is that's what humans is for. You being
That's the
baptized by fire.
living.
You're gonna it's gonna help you help other people, which
You're a
in
scientist. It's trial
you
and
living
error.
in your purpose doing that. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I love this. Now, this conversation has been fantastic, and I love it. So you definitely have an open invitation to come back, but the party ain't over
Oh
yet
yeah.
because it's the last segment of the show. You know what it is? It's about damn time. So, SaKarra, tell me what it's about time for people to start doing to finally break free from people pleasing and live their life for themselves.
Whatever you do, don't consider anybody else. I know that sounds really inconsiderate, but consider yourself first. You can consider somebody else second, right? I'm obviously, I don't live on an island. I make a decision. I consider myself first. Second, I consider my son. Okay, is this going to affect him? Is it going to impact him? You know, is it going to, he's coming into the teenage years. Is it going to come to a point where his friends love to follow me on TikTok? They must be stopped. Every time I find them, I block them. But they be like, "What? Oh my God. when he went to school one day, kids he didn't even know was like, yo, I saw your mom's TikTok. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So I try to consider myself first. Of course, I answer to myself first. If you want to live your life fully the way you want it, you have to consider yourself first. Then a little bit later, I consider, okay, how's this gonna, reflect on my child, reflect on my family? But I gotta consider myself first. Are you familiar with Kevin on Stage,
Yeah.
the comedian? He
Yeah.
had a video where he said, you have to die empty. Like when that time comes and you're leaving the earth, give it everything that you had in you. We
Yeah.
hold back so much of what we're supposed to give because we're afraid of what, like he said, he knows people are always calling him corny. He's like, be corny. If you're corny, be really corny. You know what I mean? Like,
Embrace it. Yeah.
embrace who you are, what you like, what you want to have out of life. Consider yourself first. You know what I mean? That's what's gonna help you live your life to the fullest. That's what's gonna help you say no to things that deserve a no, and yes to things that deserve a yes.
Love it.
Know
Yeah, you're right.
yourself, and don't compromise. Don't compromise yourself.
And I think that's the trick. It's knowing yourself. I think we all as individuals definitely have to sit there and get more into self-examination and knowing ourselves and
Absolutely.
some of the things is we do stuff we don't even know why we do it. And when someone asks you the question, you get mad when somebody asks you the question because you don't know why you do it, and you don't appreciate that this person tried to call me out on it.
And you don't
So
know you doing it because your great uncle Cleophas from your father's side twice removed used to do it, and then your father saw it and he do it and he taught you to do it, and now you do it, but you don't know that's why you do it.
you don't know why you
You
do it.
just
You just be
doing
doing
it.
it, and then and it's supposed to be,
Exactly.
and it's a law on why you do it. You don't know reasons why. You don't
Right,
even know if they work for
right.
you. It's
And
2025.
then when somebody question it, you like, mind your business. Duh, duh, duh. And now you're mad about it.
Yeah,
And you mad because you don't know why you're doing it.
right. Oh, I've like because I asked too many follow up questions. I have gotten people gotten mad at me. Why you ask me this? Because
Right.
because I know that you can't answer the question, and I want you to think about it.
Right,
Because
exactly.
I'm here sitting here like, why am I doing this? Oh, I need to do this. Like I'm having these conversations with
Mhm.
myself. I'm just trying to inspire you to have those same conversations with yourself. That's all.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
I'll be the bad guy. It's okay. I'll be the bad guy. It's fine.
But yeah, be you always. Because people gonna try to get you to be somebody else or something else. Or I love when people come to me and say, didn't you used to? And I say, I don't know you used to. I'm SaKarra. So I don't. When you said SaKarra, didn't you used to? I have never met you used to a day in my life. Okay,
Mm-mm.
I'm SaKarra. SaKarra does this now. You see me doing it, then it's something I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought you
Mm-hmm.
said you was gonna. I don't know her either. If you see me doing it right now, then this is who I am. If this is what I'm doing right now, this I don't have to answer to you for what I was used. I used to have locks that went down my back, and then guess what? I woke up one morning and decided I didn't want to have them, and people were like, "But what? Were they growing out of your scalp?" Like, but you used to have. I don't know what you used to have. I never met her. I got a fro. SaKarra has a fro. You used to got locks. Period. That's it.
And you can look at pictures of you used to back
Yeah, you
then, but
used to
right
look
now the
cute.
pictures of me right now is with a fro.
Right. You used to real cute. I would give him my number. You used to cute. But SaKarra got an afro. Period.
Girl, I love it. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they can get more insightful things such as that, and
Yeah.
then some.
Definitely on social media, on all platforms, is at Saki Certified, SAKI, and then the word certified. So that's YouTube. Actually YouTube might be SaKarra Y. Don't matter. Just put in Saki Certified, you'll find me. But that's YouTube, that's Instagram, that's TikTok, Facebook, Saki Certified. I have a podcast called SaKarra Y because there was a time when I was transitioning out of people pleasing where people would start their questions for me. SaKarra, why are you doing that? SaKarra, why? And then I was like, wait, why am I doing this? So I started to question, and I started to question life. And I'd always say on my podcast, I'm not looking for answers. I think I'm just looking for more questions. So, and that's the fun. That's the fun in it. I'm not trying to find finite answers to why I do this or why I do that. But I'm just trying to expand my life and try to help people expand their life also. It's a lot of fun over there. It gets real, everything. It gets a little scandalous. It gets a little ghetto. It gets a little messy. It gets everything over there. So come on and join us. It's on all podcast platforms. Not Pandora. I know you said you put your podcast on Pandora. How do you do that?
I got you.
Okay.
I'll see you.
Yeah, but like Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, it's on all those things. Where else? Yeah, that's it. That's me.
Look, that's you, and I'm enjoying it. I always enjoy the content. When I'm scrolling, I see some stuff. I'm like, all right, let me stop. Let me see what's coming out of your mouth now.
I say to watch my content because I be like, gee, what did I say recently? I don't know what I said.
Well, well, the recent thing that you said was about the girl crush versus like if your man have a crush on the guy.
Yeah. I did post that yesterday. Yeah, like I could be a little gay, but my man can't be a little gay. Fight me on it. Fight me. I swear. What you mean you got a crush on that man? I can have a crush on the ladies. You can't have a crush on no man.
You had a crush on the man. You like relationship over. It's done.
Over. Go be with him. Y'all meant for each other.
And that's what you can find on her social media platforms. Follow her everywhere. SaKarra, thank you for being a part of It's About Damn Time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me this week on It's About Damn Time. Hey, if you like what you heard, follow this podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and IG, and join the conversation on this week's episode. Link to all my socials in the show notes. You can also show love by simply giving me a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And of course, for more blogs, pods, and other digital content, go to thewholedamnshow.com. Until next time, I'll see you next week.